Pete says the whole "you're a new fan" attempt at an insult is so juvenile and childish, especially since it's literally the new fans that have catapulted the W into the mainstream of popularity. You're welcome. I don't know if that's towards me or someone in the chat. If it's towards me, that's not an insult. Saying someone is a new fan is not an insult. It's a fact. If you're a new fan, if you just hopped on in 2024, you're a new fan. That's okay. Not an insult. It's just a thing. Like, for example, I am a new fan of professional bull riding. I've been watching professional bull riding for about 3 years. I really like it. I'm a new fan. If I'm talking to someone about PBR and I'm talking about it and they're like, "Oh, you're a new fan," that's not an insult. That's literally a fact. Literally a fact. Now, some people do say that as a derogatory term, and I do acknowledge that. So this is not me saying that anybody who says that is on the up and up. No, there are some people who do say that as an insult, and they do say that as a very unnecessary a way to demean people. And I don't agree with that. I think that's messed up. I really do. I really do think that's messed up, because here's the thing. The WNBA is small. Women's basketball is small. The popularity of our sport is not big at all. And because of that, shouldn't you be welcoming for more people to hop on? Shouldn't you? I understand that sometimes people want to gatekeep, and sometimes people are like, "Oh no, this is mine." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, for example, when I was younger, I was a Degrassi fan. Loved Degrassi. And I got on Drake, aka Aubrey Graham, before Drake ever got popular. So Drake, he was on Degrassi, Wheelchair Jimmy, and he was making music. And guys, when he was still on Degrassi making music, I started listening to Drake. I like Drake. I was a big fan of Drake. I was telling everybody about Aubrey Graham and what Aubrey Graham is doing. And then a lot of people was like, "Who is that?" I ain't listening to no guy on Degrassi and all this other stuff. And then eventually Drake ended up hooking up with Lil Wayne, and then his popularity skyrocketed. And then I was like, you know what? Drake has gotten too big. All these people didn't remember. Didn't even know who Drake was back then. Y'all shouldn't be fans of him. Y'all too much, you know. And I got like very annoyed with it, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this because now it's too popular. Now everybody's on board. Now everybody has something to say about him and whatnot. When before nobody seemed to care, and so like, there is a little bit of this is mine. Why is everybody paying attention? But at the same time, when we talk about the sport of women's basketball, I love women's basketball. I want women's basketball to grow. So I don't care if you just became a fan yesterday. I don't care if you've been a fan for 30 years. I don't care if you've been a fan for the majority of your life like I have. Right? What I want to do, I want to welcome everybody in. And what I want to do is I want everybody to respect the game. That's what I want. So if you're new, I'm like, hey, welcome. Happy you're here. Let me kind of tell you about what women's basketball is all about. Let me tell you about some of the greats who used to play this game. Let me give you some commentary on what's currently happening, and give you all some context so you can understand it, right? So like, not everybody handles stuff the same way, but like, yes, there are people who use new fan in a derogatory term. That sucks. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's life. That's what people do. But just because someone wants to be derogatory and demean you because you're a new fan, which again is not an insult, but if they want to use it as that, who cares? Here's the thing. You all can be interested in what you're interested in. Just because someone wants to gatekeep, just because someone wants to act like you don't like you don't belong here and all this other stuff, just because someone's like, you know what, you have to fit these very specific buckets. You have to like these very specific things. You can't say, like, just because someone wants to tell you that, you don't have to listen. You don't have to listen. You are your own person, okay? You are your own person. So don't use that as a way to be like, oh, see, the WNBA don't like me. All of these OG fans, they can't stand the newbies and all this other stuff. Like, guys, who cares what they say? Why are you? I think in general, we as a society has gotten way too sensitive. Like, who cares? like, I don't understand. I really don't. Like, I feel like like it's like, oh, if this person if these groups of fans said this, that I'm not welcome because I just became a fan, or if they're acting like it's a problem, you're all upset. Like, why? Who cares? Who cares, guys? At some point, be your own person. Don't care what people think, and move on. Okay? Okay? Like, and I understand that, like, not everybody's like me, and like people are a little bit more sensitive, but at the same time, eventually, like, they're just words on a screen. Who cares? Like, whatever, man. Freedom Runner says they get their feelings hurt over text on the screen. Yeah, I think it's just like it's unnecessary, and you mess yourself up. You like, why? You get all upset for no reason because some people like being upset. Some people just like being upset. They want to be mad about something, so they got to figure out what is the latest thing I'm upset about, and so they got to pick some stuff. And so, anyway, how did we get on this rant? I don't even know. I can't even remember how this thing even started. So I don't know. I don't know how this thing started, but yeah. The moral of the story is, if you are a new fan of women's basketball, great. Happy to have you on. If you're an old fan of women's basketball, great. Happy to have you on. If you are someone who's a very casual fan who pops in and pops out, great. Happy to have you on. Guys, this is a welcoming channel. This is a channel where everybody can hop on here and enjoy the game of women's basketball together. I don't know how in the world we got into this rant, but yeah, man, like, I don't know. I gotta move on. We got people. We had like 900 people in the chat, but it dropped down because I guess people don't like my rant. I gotta move on. I gotta move on and get off this rant stuff, because sometimes, guys, I get going and I just go and go and go and go and go and go. You know. So it's sorry about that. I do apologize for the random rants. Yes, the Freedom Runner says the common denominator is we are all fans. It doesn't matter how we became fans. I mean, in most instances, yes, I think you're right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, hey, you're welcome to rock out women's basketball, man. Stern12, thank you so much for the super chat, says Caitlin Clark brought me in. However, I now am watching 3 TVs of women's basketball, and I'm watching you. Man, salute to you, Stern12. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. You rocked on, like, you started rocking with women's basketball because of Caitlin, and now you've been introduced to all this other stuff. Right? And I think that's great. I think that is really, really great. And Kristen, thank you so much for the super chat as well, says new bandwagon Caitlin Clark fan. Thank you so much, Quita, for your channel. I've learned so much and am all in on the W now. It's been so much fun. Man, Kristen, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for that message. I think that's awesome. That is awesome. Awesome that you are all in on the WNBA and that you're enjoying the awesome play that you're saying. Like this is, the WNBA is the best of the best when it comes to women's basketball. And like, we all know college basketball is fantastic. We all know the Olympic basketball is fantastic, but like, the WNBA is just it's a special thing. It is a special thing. And I love it, man. I love the fact that you have hopped on board, from bandwagon fan to a fan of just the W. I think it's great. So shout out to you, Kristen.